What is going on? Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome on into the Faithful Studio. I am Tyson. If it is your first time here, thank you for clicking on this video, and I hope you all are having a fantastic Friday. So, a couple house cleaning things that we need to get out of the way real quick is just make sure you hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up, and the bell so you know every time I have a new video. We have a podcast, a website, and actually I had some fantastic things. I've been telling you, like, hey, I got a bunch of discount codes for companies, and it's all on faithfullybearded.com. It's all on the website. And I actually had a couple messages of like, hey man, that website comes in handy. I was looking for a discount code, went to your website, found one, and I got to use it. So I appreciate that. None of those discount codes are affiliates or anything like that. Just discount codes to help save you guys some money, all in one centrally located spot. Second thing is, Beard Swag, Mike Cribbs, and myself are doing a devotional podcast, and we did our first episode this week. So if you haven't checked out the Faithfully Bearded podcast, you can search for Faithfully Bearded on any of your favorite podcast networks, and you can find that podcast there. So today, in this video, we are going to follow up with the unboxing that we did Monday, and I'm going to give you my review, the FRS score for the Gentleman's Nod beard products that I got to experience this week. So we're going to get into that right after this. Alright, so we're here. It's Friday. We got products to review. I know you guys are all excited. Give me a thumbs up if you're excited for this. Give me a thumbs up if you're not excited for this. Just give me a thumbs up because I have a Dixon flannel. I'm wearing my Dixon flannel. Man, these things are nice. Like, I'm not sponsored or promoted by Dixon at all, but these Dixon flannels are pretty cool. With that being said, we have a company called Gentleman's Nod to go over today, and I got a couple oils and a couple balms from them, and we call them grooming balms. But I showed you what these look like on Monday, and if you didn't get to see the unboxing experience, go back and check out the video from Monday, the unboxing for Gentleman's Nod, and you can see how they package them and present them, which is one of the best in the game, in my opinion. So we go through, we give you details on the oils, the balms, butter, wash, co-wash, and the company. We add them up, we divide them by the number of categories we have, and we give the company an FRS score, which is a faithful ranker score. We go ahead and we put that up on the website so they're there against every other company, and I tell you what that is based on my opinion here and my experience with the company, and we're doing that today. So the first thing I start out with is telling you a little bit about the company. So the company is owned by Chris and Boyd. Now Chris was in California and he was going to grad school, and he started just doing some research, and he came along a theology blog post, and in this theology blog post he came across wet shaving. So he started getting in really big into the wet shaving scene, and with that he was in forums and all that stuff, started messing around with his own products for the wet shaving. Well, that eventually led him into the beard products, and he was just hooked. So if you were to see this company, it is a grooming company. They have a lot of wet shaving, a lot of shaving products, but also the beard products that they're getting into as well. And they started that basically in July of 2019. So the company name, Gentleman's Nod, what they really wanted to do was give a nod, tip of the hat, to famous gentlemen in history of the U.S. And if you look at their logo here, it's really hard to see, but you can see it better on their website. But the G in Gentleman's Nod is actually nodding just a tiny little bit, which I think is cool, and it flows with the theme. Now, they pride themselves on two main things: product safety and product performance. So they do everything in a safe, sterile environment. They've done their research. On here, on the labels, you can see all the 12-month pharmaceutical type deal here, where it has that 12 months. You can see that on the oils as well, and they use a lot of really solid ingredients. They pay attention to that stuff because not only do they want safety, but they want the performance of the product as well. So out of Omaha, Nebraska, these two guys have done a really nice job getting the company name, logo, design all put together. But with that being said, how do the products stack up in my beard throughout this week? So the first thing that I like to dig into is the oils, and I got a couple oils from them right here so you can see. And the first thing you might notice is that they have different colored labels. So let's get the different colored labels out of the way right away. So the blue label here, I like to call this just their standard line. They don't necessarily have line names, but that's how I'm going to bring it to you guys in this video because I think it makes the most sense. You have the standard line, the blue line, and then you have the red line. Now, most of these have the same carrier blends, but the difference that you see between the blue line and the red line is they change up the ratios a little bit in some of them. So the red line has a little bit more of the higher end ingredients or the more expensive ingredients, like that vitamin E. So that's where you see the difference in those. I thought they both felt really good, and I couldn't really tell much of a difference between the oils in the carrier blends. The Balms is a little bit different of a story. I could definitely tell that one, but we'll get into that here when we talk about Balms. So I really like the labels on these. I think they're classic. They look really nice. It tells you what they are. And it just looks like something that would be on a beard shelf. You know, you got a pumper top here. Now this isn't one of those pumpers that drips down and runs down the bottle. I had a really good experience with this. It actually shoots, so it's got some velocity on there. Velocity would be the right word, right? And you got a 1 ounce bottle here. You got the ingredients on it, and you also have the scent profile. So this particular one is called the Vincent, and this is made after Vincent van Gogh. So these are a nod to gentlemen in history. So this is made after Vincent van Gogh, and they all have this little number on the side here. So number 11 for Vincent van Gogh is because he painted Starry Night, and there's 11 stars in there. So they correlated that number to him for that. And this one is lavender, cypress, and vetiver. And I gave you my first impressions, and I just love this scent and how it mixes together. I don't like lavender, but this scent is really, really good for me. And the cypress and the vetiver really go in there. Now, with the durations on it, that was another little bit of a story. So I like the scents when I put them in my beard. They smell really good out of the bottle. They smell good warmed up. You put them in your beard. But I was getting about 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4 hours out of the duration on these scent profiles. So I would like a little bit longer of a scent. But sometimes you get that with essential oils where they don't last as long. These just happen to be blends that don't last as long. But on the positive side, they mix some scents that I don't like together to make really, really good scents that I would wear in my beard, and I enjoyed wearing this week. And then we also got to try out George, which is after George Washington. So you see a number 1 on the side here because he was the first president of the United States, right? And this is cedarwood, tobacco, and cherry. Now, don't think your normal tobacco that you would see around. It's not your normal tobacco. This is tobacco leaf, so it's not your Cuban tobacco. It's that dry tobacco flower, tobacco flower. It's the tobacco flower. And so when you smell this, now I'm not a cedarwood fan, and when I smell it, the first thing I kind of get is that cedarwood. But then it's got cherry and then that tobacco flower in there, so you get the sweetness of the cherry, but you still get that little flowery scent that you have. And it's a good scent. When I put it in my beard, I smelt the cedarwood right away, but then it wore off pretty quick, and some of that cherry and that flowery tobacco came out. And again, that was a really good scent. I don't know if I could pick between the two. I think if I had to pick, I would pick Vincent. But again, both of them felt really good. My beard was actually like really light, airy, and fluffy, but soft, but looked good. It's really hard to explain. I don't know if I've really experienced that too much. I could actually put this oil in and not do too much of a blow dry job on my beard, and I still like the way it was. So I really thoroughly enjoyed the way that they felt in my beard. I thoroughly enjoy the labels. I enjoy the scents. There's a couple other scents that he has on the website that I would really like to try out. The scent duration, not as long as I like, but when we look at the ingredients on here, you're talking jojoba oil, argan oil, avocado oil, apricot oil, meadow foam seed oil, metal foam seed oil, castor oil, vitamin E oil, lanolin grapefruit seed extract. So you got some really good stuff in there. And then what happens when you go to the red line is you see a decrease in the amount of castor oil they use and more in the lanolin and more in the vitamin E, those nourishing, conditioning type ingredients. And so that's where you see a little bit of a price difference as well, and then the color change in the label. So we add all those things up and we divide them out to give an FRS score for the oils. And today the oils for Gentleman's Knot come in at an FRS score of 8.8. I liked the oils. I liked the feel. I guess the downside would be the price difference, the color difference, and then the scent duration on there for me. So if we can get the scent duration to last a little bit longer, and then kind of, I don't know how I feel about 2 lines. For me, it was confusing right away. I didn't know the difference because they're not really labeled as different lines or carrier blends. So I actually had to figure that out through a phone conversation. So maybe making that a little bit more clear for the consumer that goes to the website and like, why is this one red and this one blue? Most people aren't going to associate that with a different line, but they're going to see the price difference and they're going to be like, why are these different priced? And maybe get confused and just always naturally go to the blue line because it's a little bit cheaper. So that's my thoughts on the oils. And next we jump into the balms. And what I really like about the balms right off the first bat is just check this out. You got this nice big container. It is big and it looks really nice. Now, you know, I'm going to say that there's no label around the side, and I think they had issues getting a label small enough because these are about the size of a hockey puck, really. They're 2 ounces, but that just looks so classy. You got this twist top lid here. I got a beard hair in there. Jeez Louise. Beard hair just chilling in my balm. But here you can see the balm. This is the blue line here. Okay, so the blue line is a little bit more moisturizing on the balm side with a lighter type hold, I came to discover. So it has, when you talk about the carriers, it has more of the oily type carriers, as where the red line has more of the butters in it. So the red line is going to give you that medium, a little bit stronger of a hold, not quite as nourishing and conditioning. Both of them still were really conditioning, but I could see the blue line almost used as a butter at night as well. So this could kind of be your crossover. And when I smell them, I don't get any of the ingredients or the carriers or anything like that. I get the straight up smell. It smells exactly the same as the oil. They're really smooth, easy to melt down in your hand and put on. I really do like this container. Now, a little bit of my confusion comes from the fact of I can go on their website and I can find like pre-shave soap with a label around the outside, and it looks like it's the same container. So I want that in here. But maybe it's not the same container. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe it's thicker and they can put a label on it and these are thinner, and I just wasn't getting it out of that, out of the picture on the website. But that's okay. So I really enjoyed the blue balm, the less holding balm a little bit more. The red balm gave me that medium hold, but still left me feeling conditioned, and the scents were great. Scent duration was about the same. They all faded off about the same at about that 2 to 4 hour mark. So with the balms, when I rank those out on the Faithful Ranker score, I'm going to do the same thing as the oils. And with the balms, I come in at, one last thing we got to say about the balms. An overlooked thing. There's no names on them. You just got the number. So you have to correlate the number over to the number on the oils to figure out what it actually is. But the scent is on here, things like that. And when I talked to him, he's like, yeah, it was just an oversight. When we get new labels printed, the names will be put on there. So there's that. If you're wondering why there's not names on the balms, because that was a question I asked, and that was the answer that I got. So with the balms, I'm coming in at 8.7. 8.7, I think they would have been the same as the oils if it just would have been the same things as the oils, clarifying the difference between blue and red, and then having the names on the lids. Now, they don't have a butter, they don't have a wash, they don't have a co-wash yet. These are all things to come. These guys are pretty new and they're working and developing on different things, but they want to make sure that they do everything, like I said, with safety. So preservatives and anything like that that needs it, they have it. And again, their background is in wet shaving, so they're used to creating products to go on your face, and especially with a razor. So I had utmost no doubt in my mind that these were going to be good products, and they really came through, and they were. So then I talk about the company a little bit, and again, the company, the website is amazing. The website is gorgeous. I want to model my website almost after it. You can tell that they got some sort of art background or something there, because the website is easy to navigate. It's gorgeous. You do have your grooming balm on there. You have your oils, and plus all their shaving essentials, so you can check that out if you'd like. I'll link it down below. But the website's good. The response from the company was good. I really like the presentation of everything. The communication was great. So the cost is a little bit part of the company, and it's where you're at is basically the blue line's $20 and the red line is $23 for an oil, and then the balms are all $22. So you got $22 for a balm. But in my opinion, after trying this stuff, I think it's worth it. I think that's about the norm. I don't know. We talk about $15 and $18. I mean, anywhere from that $12 to $22 range. I know that's a big gap, but I mean, when you get a presentation like this and the feel that I've gotten in my beard this week, I'm completely happy with it. And I can save you guys 15%. I have a code. It's Faithful15, so we can save you 15% off your order if you decide to try it out. I definitely would buy again, and in fact I want to go back and get a couple of the other scents, and I'll use my Faithful15 discount. But with that being said, the company FRS score comes in at a 8.99, so a 9. So we're just going to round it to a 9. It's a 9. So the company comes in at 9. Now I take those three categories, and I use my thinker. I add them up, I divide them by 3 because that's how many categories we have. And then thankfully God blessed me with being able to do math. So we come up with a score of an 8.85 total FRS score. I'm going to round that up to an 8.9. And we have Gentleman's Nod coming at an 8.9. Now, my recommendations for them to get that score even higher would be to come out with more products. Come out with a few more products. Get a wash, a co-wash, a butter, some of the essentials that most bearded men really like to have, so people can shop all in one place. B, get the scent profiles to last just a little bit longer. I would really, really, really like the scent profiles to last that 6 hour minimum mark. I feel like that's where we really got to be, is 6 hours. I prefer 12 hours because I get up at 4 in the morning, I get my beard ready by 5 in the morning. If it can last me until dinner time at 5 o'clock that night, like, come on, that's what I want. Putting names on the balms, and then cost is also going to be a recommendation, because a lot of guys are going to have trouble paying this much for beard products. Again, I would, but that's just my opinion. A lot of people won't. But we're going to save you 15% with the code Faithful15. And we coming in at the 9 FRS score for Gentleman's Nod. You're going to tip your hat to a famous gentleman. Now, a lot of the stories are super cool on these, so go check them out. You can find out about the stories. There's so many other names. I mean, you have Ernest, you have Jackie Robinson, you got Johnny Cash. So there's some really cool ones, and they all have a number that correlates with them. So go ahead and put down in the comments what you think some of your numbers are. So like Johnny Cash is number 13. Jackie Robinson's number 42. Ernest is number 85. So where do you think these numbers are coming from? Jackie Robinson's pretty easy. That's his number. But the other two, where do you think those numbers come from? Go ahead and comment that down below. And one of you lucky winners that gets it right, gets one of them right, I'm just going to randomly pick a winner, and you guys are going to win yourself a Vincent oil and a Vincent balm shipped to you from me, just because, well, hey, they gave me one to give away, and B, I'm going to cover the shipping because I love you guys and appreciate you, right? I appreciate each and every one of you. So that about wraps it up for the Gentleman's Nod. Grab yourself a coffee. Whoop, whoop, got it right here. Give your family, friends, everybody a hug. Tell them you appreciate them. Stroke your man-mane. And go ahead and give a nod to a gentleman in history, or just somebody that has a nice beard that you see, or just a coworker. Just go ahead and give them a tip of the hat. Give them a little nod today. Make somebody's day. And God bless you all.